This is the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for Monday, the 19th of June. I'm Michael Groff. A major heat wave in the southwest with dangerously hot temperatures, record-breaking heat likely over the next several days. Then gradually we'll see those high temperatures ease back just a bit as we head toward the weekend and into early next week. Also some forecast uncertainty. Could we start to see the monsoon getting cranked up? Well, let's talk about it all as we look outside this morning. Here at 7:15 a.m., mostly sunny skies in the valley right now, and it's already hot out there. 90 degrees at Sky Harbor presently, dew point at 39, humidity 17%. The winds are light, the barometer is rising. Temperatures across the area right now getting up toward the 90-degree mark here in the urban core. And the satellite shows a few clouds in the eastern part of the state, but mostly clear skies around here right now. On the watch warning map, the heat dominates the weather headlines out here in the west. Heat advisories in the northern part of our state, so Flagstaff, Prescott, Payson, but here for Phoenix, Tucson, Yuma, up to Kingman, those are all excessive heat warnings. Those are in effect through Saturday night at 9 p.m. Those extended to Southern California, Southern Nevada. In fact, actually, the excessive heat warnings go all the way up into the valleys of Northern California, Sacramento, Redding, Red Bluff, and heat advisories along the west coast. In the Northeast, those are flash flood watches as a strong cold front moves through the area today, and we see that reflected on the convective outlook as well. An enhanced risk of severe storms today around Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, and New York. The standard slight risk goes from western North Carolina to the Canadian border, with a marginal risk from central Texas through much of the deep south. Another marginal risk zone across parts of North Dakota, western Minnesota, so around Fargo and Grand Forks, Crookston, Minnesota today. As far as our weather, let's talk about the details of that right now as we take a look at the models, see what's happening. This is the GFS, the 06Z run, valid at 5 o'clock Mountain Standard Time today. This is the view across North America at 500 millibars, and that's a strong high pressure here over the southwest. A 597 ridge is centered right over western New Mexico. For us today, it's sunny skies. It's still a dry air mass, and high temperatures are going to climb to around 114 to 117 here in the valley. The record high for today, 118, set just last year, and I think for today that's probably safe. Could we tie it? Yes, but I think we're going to stay under that threshold for now. And a little bit of moisture going to start to work its way around this high as it sort of meanders near the border of Arizona and New Mexico. So a little bit of a southeasterly flow, maybe an isolated shower or thunderstorm today, especially western New Mexico and the far eastern part of our state, as a little bit of moisture creeps in. And that's why high temperatures are probably going to stay about a degree or two cooler than initially thought today and tomorrow and through much of the week. Speaking of tomorrow, let's tackle that right now. We will have sunny skies here in the valley, no question about that. Upper heights around 598 decameters. All of the atmospheric profiles that we've been looking at suggest that temperatures will be near their all-time record highs here in the valley. However, with just a little added moisture in the atmosphere and maybe just a few high clouds around, temperatures may just stay underneath those thresholds. So highs 117 to 120. Now, the record high for tomorrow is 116. We're going to break that no problem. But there will be a couple of isolated thunderstorms in the eastern part of the state and up along the rim. Those will produce some lightning and some wind, probably no rain or very little rain. That's unfortunate because the wildfire situation is so bad in the state right now, with 225 square miles having already been burned by this current rash of wildfires. So I think we're going to stay just under the all-time record. I don't know if we're even going to make 120 tomorrow. Could we? Yes. Is it likely? Well, I think that's still a bit of a question mark. And then on Wednesday, we're going to be excessively hot still. I mean, this isn't going to go anywhere, folks. This pattern is not breaking down anytime soon. The upper heights come down ever so slightly, and that'll translate to highs about 115 to 118 on Wednesday. Still going to be very, very hot. Thursday, sunny skies continue. Maybe an isolated thunderstorm in the far eastern part of the state again. Highs 113 to 116. Friday, same thing, 113 to 116. Saturday, 111 to 114 as the ridge slowly weakens and suppresses a little bit further to the south as A trough begins to develop along the west coast, off the Pacific Northwest coast. Sunday, this is where we start to run into some forecast uncertainty. High temperatures still around 110 to 113 with mostly sunny skies. And again, there could be just a little bit of moisture that sneaks into the eastern part of the state for an isolated shower or thunderstorm out that way. Here in the valley, we're going to stay dry the entire week and into the weekend. Now, here's a week from today. This is Monday, the 26th of June. And that's still a very strong ridge sitting somewhere across northern Mexico. And the models are really, at this point, they're all over the board. And as we find out through much of the summer, although the overall weather patterns are still pretty predictable by the models and still very well illustrated and fairly accurate, in terms of mesoscale features, the models are going to become pretty worthless here as we head into the monsoon season. So highs next Monday are going to be around 110 to 113. We're still going to be hot. There's no question about that part. It is just, will we see any moisture start to intrude in here? The European had been advertising some moisture coming in. It is held off until early next week, but it's showing quite an abundance of moisture moving through northern Mexico into the eastern part of the state by then. The GFS showing a trickle of moisture perhaps at some point next week as well. We'll have to see. Here's Tuesday, the 27th of June, and again, we're still seeing temperatures very, very gradually easing back, 108 to 111. And this is the end of the forecast period. Wednesday, the 28th of June. High pressure somewhere off to our east. A trough coming in. Could see some moisture advected northward into the state. Maybe a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms again in the rim country in the eastern part of the state. We really do need the rain, but here in the valley, for the most part, I think we're just going to stay dry. But next week, we could start to see a bit more of that monsoon moisture working its way in our direction. We'll see. So we check the temperatures through the period off of the GFS ensemble. It's got us at 119 both tomorrow and Wednesday, and I don't think it's going to get quite that warm Wednesday. Nonetheless, temperatures to stay above 110 degrees probably for the rest of the month. And we could still set a record for the most consecutive days with highs at 110 or greater. I believe that record for Phoenix is 11 days. I'll have to look into that, but I believe that is still our current standing record. And that'll do it for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. Our next video is back here tomorrow morning. Stay cool out there. Stay hydrated. We'll get through it. And have yourselves a safe Monday.